All right, no pleasantries today. Let's just jump right in. Welcome to this explainer where we're tackling one of the absolute strangest, fastest growing, and honestly most fascinating corners of digital media right now. We are talking about AI microdramas. Imagine a world where the biggest, most dramatic soap opera stars aren't human actors on some million-dollar Hollywood set. Nope, they are completely synthetic, algorithmically generated characters acting out wild, intense drama in these short, bite-sized 30-second videos designed to just absolutely flood your YouTube feed. It's bizarre, it's massive, and it's fundamentally changing how we consume entertainment.
Now, to really understand the sheer absurdity of what we're looking at today, you've got to listen to this quote. AI keeps surprising us. Yesterday, it was writing essays. Today, it is making fruit sheet on each other in a digital villa. If you want to get surprised with me again, comment, share, and subscribe before the pineapple starts its own podcast. Just think about that for a second. We've literally gone from using AI as a sterile tool to write emails or debug code straight into using it to generate scandalous, fictional relationships between digital fruit. It sounds like a complete joke, right? But I promise you, the engagement numbers are dead serious.
So, to really grasp this, we need to nail down what an AI microdrama actually is. Basically, it's a short, serialized, episodic story designed specifically for super fast online viewing. We are not talking about traditional animation here, the kind that takes a studio months and months to render. No, these are hyper-fast productions. They're engineered perfectly for platforms like YouTube, usually clocking in around 30 seconds, and they start immediately with a massive, undeniable hook to stop you from scrolling. And the crazy part? Every single element, the characters, the synthetic voices, the scripts, the visuals, is generated or assisted by AI tools. They rely on those classic, intense, dramatic hooks we all know: betrayal, jealousy, shocking reveals. It is, quite literally, a completely synthetic internet soap opera.
Which brings us to a perfect case study, the Fruit Love Island phenomenon.
Okay, so here's what this bizarre new format looks like in the wild. Fruit Love Island is exactly what it sounds like. It's an AI-generated parody dating show featuring, you guessed it, anthropomorphic fruit. You've got these fruit characters flirting, forming alliances, arguing, and it's all structured perfectly around those classic reality TV beats: coupling up, elimination, deep betrayal. And if you're sitting there thinking this is just some niche little novelty, the numbers tell a totally different story. We are talking hundreds of millions of views, millions of highly engaged followers. People didn't just chuckle at a funny 30-second video and scroll past. They locked in. They picked favorite characters, they argued aggressively in the comment sections, and they eagerly waited for the next episode just to see which piece of fruit was going to betray the other. It crossed completely from a weird internet joke right into mainstream cultural conversation.
So that begs the question, why we watch fake drama?
Look, if you are feeling a bit confused about why millions of actual human beings are deeply invested in the love life of an apple, it really just comes down to basic psychology. As humans, we have a very long, well-documented history of connecting emotionally with completely fictional, non-human entities. Think about cartoons, puppets like the Muppets, anime, video game mascots. Our brains actually aren't that strict about realism. What our brains genuinely crave are recognizable characters paired with high dramatic tension. Once we know who a character is, what they want, and what's standing in their way, our brain just clicks into entertainment mode. We become emotionally invested, completely regardless of whether that character is made of flesh and blood or if they're just generated pixels.
And this hits the nail on the head when it comes to the core psychological hook of the entire microdrama format. As the source text points out, the audience isn't sitting there asking, "Is this real?" No, they're asking, "What happens next?" Realism simply does not matter when you have a great rhythm, good conflict, and a killer cliffhanger at the end of a short video. As long as that 30-second clip hooks you right away and leaves you desperate for a resolution, the creator has won.
Now, let's shift gears and look at how this actually works. Let's look at the tech behind the format. You really have to think about the stark contrast in production here. Traditionally, if you want to make a high-quality dramatic episode, you need weeks or even months of planning. You need massive crews, incredibly expensive cameras, set designers, lighting, human actors. It's a huge financial risk. But with AI microdrama production, that entire process is compressed from months down to mere hours. Using low-cost AI models and synthetic voices, a solo creator just sitting in their bedroom can conjure up an entire fictional universe. They can test an idea out, and hey, if it fails, they've lost almost nothing. They just scrap it and generate a new one.
And this kind of incredible speed comes from a multimodal pipeline. It's not just a magic make video button, right? It's a process. First, a creator starts by using a language model to generate a plot with a clear, engaging conflict. Then, they use an image model to actually design the characters, making sure they keep a consistent visual style. Next, they take those images and push them into a video model to animate the short scenes. After that, voice synthesis generates the dialogue and narration, so no actors needed in a sound booth. And finally, they edit all these clips together, optimizing heavily for fast cuts, big captions, dramatic music, and of course, that crucial cliffhanger.
But here is the absolutely crucial point. This creates an entirely new feedback loop. Because the production timeline is hours instead of months, a creator can post a short video today, read the YouTube comments tonight, and generate the next episode tomorrow based exactly on what the audience is asking for. If the audience suddenly loves a random background character, boom, the creator immediately makes them the star of the next episode. The story isn't some rigid script written a year in advance. It's this wild, real-time mix of creative writing, live improvisation, and algorithmic experimentation driven directly by audience reactions.
But of course, it's not all just fun and games. We have to talk about the dark side, slop, ethics, and platform rules.
With the barrier to entry being so incredibly low, it creates a massive ethical landmine. First off, we have what critics are calling AI slop, just a total flood of low-effort, shallow, recycled material designed purely to harvest your attention and your clicks without offering any real value. But honestly, more concerning is the hidden harm. Because the algorithms reward intense emotion and crazy hooks, creators sometimes push really disturbing themes, exaggerated humiliation, or even violence. And because these dark themes are masked behind cute animated fruit or fantasy characters, they look totally harmless at first glance. This creates an absolute nightmare for moderation. Platforms literally don't know what to do. Is a 30-second video of a digital mango being violently betrayed considered a cartoon? Is it adult drama, comedy, span? Plus, there's a massive lack of transparency. Viewers often have no idea what's generated, who actually owns the IP, or if the engagement they're seeing in the comments is even real.
So, where does this all leave us? Let's talk about the future of fictional celebrities.
The ultimate takeaway from our sources today is this. Generative AI is rapidly moving away from being a simple utility tool. It's no longer just something that helps you write a quick script or fix your code. It's becoming an autonomous engine of culture itself. As the tech gets better, with smoother voices, cleaner animation, faster generation times, creating compelling characters is becoming easier than ever before. And that means the next massive internet celebrity, the next big figure that completely dominates social media and merchandise sales, well, they might not be a human being at all. It could very well be a synthetic character, a historically generated avatar, or yes, a highly dramatic mango with deep-seated trust issues. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. We often pride ourselves on valuing authenticity, right? But as these models get faster, better, and much more tuned into exactly what our brains crave in those short, dramatic 30-second bursts, if the story is addictive enough, if the rhythm is perfect, and if that hook is undeniable, will you eventually find yourself becoming a superfan of a show where absolutely nothing is real? It's a pretty fascinating question to ask ourselves about our own media consumption. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. And hey, keep an eye out for that next cliffhanger.